Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Wednesday, the 23rd of August. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. All right. First day of the Channel Week, and it's the first day of the York Ebor Festival. Nice 4-dayer to get ourselves involved in. There'll be a nice couple of handicaps at least every day. The word on the street from last year was didn't do so well. I think it was something like 2 from 8 selections framed on day 1 or 2 from 10 on day 2, picked up on day 3 and day 4, but still overall it was a heavy loss last week for the York Ebor Festival. Last year for the York Ebor Festival. So yeah, we will see what this brings. As I said in the last video, I've done better at York this year, but it's very, very hard to get right because, general rule of thumb I'd say at York is when people look at things like draw bias and pace bias is I don't think there's so much pace bias. I think there's a little bit of track positional bias, and I think if you towards the end, usually you want to be coming up the middle. That isn't always the case. Sometimes horses bag a rail and then go up. But generally, I think what you find, and this is a generalisation, so it's not like a strong bias. I read York usually that if you're in a big field, so these like 15, 16, 20 runner type jobs that are coming up the straight, I think it's better to be drawn out wide so that either you can take the rail and go in, or if the ground is better up the middle, you come in and you basically push together the horses draw in the middle. So for me, the place not to be drawn is dead centre because I don't think that gives you the option. It doesn't give you the option to go to the wing, and I think the outside horses from either side can then creep in and basically push track position. So generally speaking, I'm not a fan of being drawn in the middle. That being said, if I think it's the best horse for the best value, I'm not going to walk past it at York. That's what we got. So anyway, that was already got into a ramble, didn't I? What have we got today? So we've got for York, it's a £30 stake and a half day to start our week. £15 3 bets at York, solely at York, and then £15 3 bets not at York. That's the plan. So I think it's 2 combination double bets. It's a lucky 15, a Yankee at York, and then 2 split leg lucky 15s, 1 Kempton and 1 Bath / Sligo. I think that's it. And I think I've got nothing at Leicester or Carlisle. I think are the other meetings on today, so no Leicester Carlisle. So we've got that. I need to go through Sunday. We only had 1 horse in the comment. I didn't put anything on the comments on Monday. 1 horse in the comments on Tuesday, which was Killer Clown. Ran a gallant race, was 5th. 4th is what most bookies needed to pay it out on. The first 4 in the betting were the first 4 home, and then Killer Clown was the value horse in 5th. So it outrun a lot of other horses at shorter prices, but no good for payouts on that one. So we'll go through Sunday, and then a few stats about last week, although it was only a couple of days. And then I have got some golf. I quite like the golf this weekend. So I've put out kind of a full plan, if you like. So as most people know, I do the golf a bit different. Don't record it for stats, but we are on a nice little run for the golf. We had Lucas Glover the week before I was off, won at 70 to 1. I think we'd broke even one of the weeks before that and lost a little bit the week before that, and then before that it was the Open and we had Brian Harmon. So and he won at 80s. So it was a decent price. It was similar to Lucas Glover. So 2 wins in across 4 weeks on the golf. So yeah, quite like it this weekend. So there's a bit of something for everyone in there if you want to follow the golf bets. So what I'm going to do is within kind of half an hour of uploading this video, I shall put it in the comments. I just want to check the prices through and put any bookie advice if I can on the golf. It's a 40-point staking plan. So the way I normally write that in there, because it's a bit more complicated this week for the golf. So basically 40-point plan, and I've done it as 50% of that staking plan is on singles across 2 tournaments. 30% is across a Yankee, and 20% is a bit of a dreamy combination doubles and trebles across 3 tournaments. So it depends on what you're into in the golf. If you just want singles, just want a side bet Yankee, just want a dreamy bet, you can take one of them, or the whole thing's there. So what I've done is then broken it down. So broke £40 points into £10. So if you wanted to put £10 on the golf with the 40-point staking plan, it's advised how to do it. If you want to put £20, you double what I've advised. I'm not advising stake on it. I'm just making it easy enough for people, because I think the key thing with golf is I like to illustrate the ratios of how much personally I might put percentage-wise on singles versus dreamy bet versus a Yankee, just so people get a bit of an idea of it. So that's going to be all in the comments within half an hour of upload. Hopefully it makes sense. All right, so Sunday was another. So we've had a few of these in August now, where it was a good day for Sky and Betway, and then I think Hills 365 and Unibet didn't lose too much but didn't win, and then everybody else would have had a poor day. And yeah, it's one of those ones that I think August is really showing up the benefit of a Sky Bet account, whereas some months we go through and we don't really have much difference, a few quid here, a few pence there, but August has been a bit of a month for it. So this Tremor bet though, no good really, not really anywhere near, non-runner not anywhere near, and then that one I think it was second with a 45p rule 4, so it wasn't really much back for the Tremor bet. And then these two Deauville horses ran with credit, so both were fourth, needed 3, were both standard term races for everybody apart from Sky on that one, did pay 4th, which I think was very generous. It didn't really count much for the channel, but both ran with credit and both absolutely outran their odds. So again, that horse was 4th but ahead of shorter price horses, so it was the value at that price, but not good enough top 3. Diva Donna Sky paid out 4. That horse went off SP in UK SP at 50 to 1, which is just stupid. And that's all because, and I've said it at the time, all because it's a small yard and a relatively unknown jockey. So from a UK betting point of view, the horse won't get a look in. Ran with credit, very, very close to 3rd, but unfortunately it was 4th, which only paid for Sky, but there was nothing to go with it because those two were duffers. So that was that. But yeah, I was quite happy with the Deauville ones, even though I didn't actually get anything back really for it. This was rubbish. I think, what did we have? A non-runner, and that was it. Nothing else with it. That was a poor bet. This was no good. Did we have it? Oh yeah, we had a winner. We had Artisan Dancer winner, backed into 13 to 2, but nothing to go with it. So just a win on its own in the Lucky 15. And it was a Sandown bet that did the damage for those people who were, particularly with Sky and Betway. But so 4.15 Arecibo slipped back to 5th, which paid out for Sky and Betway and Hills. Indemnify was 4th, which paid out for most. The Beautiful Game got up and got 3rd, which was good for everybody. And then Diamond Bay was 4th, which was only good for Sky, 365 if you put the button before the non-runners, Unibet and Betway. So Sky and Betway got the place quad, and then if you were any of those other bookmakers I mentioned, you got the place treble basically. It's just I want a nice bet where everybody can celebrate. But yeah, and then this was junk. So it was a good profitable day. I think I've actually lost it. I think it's £99 return. I think it was £99.30 off the top of my head. So 35 on 99.30 back's what the channel got. So it did mean after 2 days of last week, the channel stats were up by 46, and I think for the month we're up by 72. But I know that that's just not anywhere near where anyone else is if you haven't got a Sky Bet or possibly a Betway account. So yeah, so up for the month for the channel stats, but I'm not celebrating. And I know I've got no idea really what percentage of people are using a Sky Bet account with the channel, either because they don't have access one or they've lost it because it's been restricted. But yeah, if you follow along with Sky Bet, it's been a good month. If you're not, then it's not been. So yeah, that's where we're at, and then let me get through on to Wednesday's bets. So main bet for York is this one. This is what we're going with, and interesting. I got the research done earlier in the week, and it's quite amazing how much there was some price movement in some of these, and some of the ones that you won't see on the because they didn't make the cut because the prices completely imploded. But yeah, York, the 150 best race of the day. Really competitive race. Mackinac 25s it was in places. I think 18s you can get 365 the time making this video. The challenge with some of these ones, particularly with Sky, is normally I'd say to you that these are good, back take the price, and overall will beat SP. It's hard to know sometimes when you get these big festivals because particularly when Sky are extra places, they're not offering as good odds. So I can see some of these getting a little bit bigger, but it's hard to know which ones. So sometimes I'll have a read and I'll tell you, and others I don't. And on this one, I think these are competitive handicap horses, so it's quite hard to get the price movement up right. But what I can say is I'm happy with these prices. So if you can beat these prices, then you should be good. So Mackinac 14-1 is my slight number one horse for that 150 race. 410 Solent Gateway at 12s, 445 Star of Lady M at 22s. It's a good price for that. And then 520. I've only got one horse in that 520, which for some people might be the next best race for the 150 because of the extra place terms. But it's a 2-year-old nursery handicap, and literally you could pretty much stick a pin in some of these. Right down the bottom there in the betting market, you've got Tickety Boo. 80s at places it was, but I think 66 is. I think it might have been Hills Coral. You might have been to get 80s. I think that's well worth a go at the price. So it ran a duffer race last time on softer ground. That's the first time it went on softer ground. Maybe it didn't like the ground. It's run previously well at York. If you look at the breeding of the horse, the sire, which names completely escape me, but I seem to remember it was a very decent horse, has some cracking York form. And I think that horse has got a lot more than it's shown already. So whether it's going to be today for Tickety Boo, but yeah, it's a phrase my dad uses as well. So there's a nice little touch to have that in there as well. But yeah, I think there's definite value in that price, but it's a very difficult race to get right, and I'm not going to get involved beyond Tickety Boo. So it's a 20p each way, lucky 15. And a 30p each way additional single on Tickety Boo at 66s. £6.60 is the bet. The bet advice for this one: Sky are best, then Betway, then 365, and then Hills and Betfair. The watch out on the 150 for anyone using Paddy. They have got one of those money back second, third, and fourth, might even be fifth, I think, on that 150, which means they are only 4 places. So absolutely avoid Paddy power for accumulators involving the 150. When you can get 7 on Sky, 6 in places, 5 most places, Paddy power absolutely avoid for accumulator bets involving the 150. Get involved in the offer if you want to do that, not suggesting otherwise. But each way accumulators, quarter the odds, 4 places. It's not terrible, but because everyone else is so much better, you wouldn't want to go anywhere near it, to be honest. So that is bet 1. Bet 2 is my York Yankee. 150 looking for Linda, which we've taken before at 14s. 225 is only a 6-runner race. Flag on that one. I'm going with the outside of Hot Fuzz. It's yeah, I think that race is really open, and actually from a form point of view, that horse is definitely competitive and shouldn't be the rank outsider in my view. It's just because you've got horses that are less exposed, and they always end up being shorter in the odds. So it's biased towards an exposed horse, albeit that horse has run to a standard that nothing else has got run particularly better than that horse. Now the watch out here is 6 runners, so it's only 2 places, but Corals and Ladbrokes are 3 places on the 6-runner race. That's excellent value. So yeah, you don't see it very often. You see it sometimes 8 runners 4 places, but 6 runner 3 places. That's really, really good. I can't see any other bookmaker going there, but Corals and Ladbrokes 3 places on that. 410, the max we can at 12s, And then the 4:45, that's one that's really come in. That was double the price this morning. Radio Gugu at 13-2. 20p each way Yankee. It's a 440 bet, so no singles on these. Sky best for extra place terms. And then I would call it Coral and Ladbrokes because of this third place. So Coral and Ladbrokes are third place on that one and 5 there. 365 are 6 there and 2 there, and I would rate the third place there more valuable than the 6th place in that race. So that's why I'm saying Coral Ladbrokes second best, 365 fourth best, and then Hills Betfair or Betway. 440 is the bet. That's bet 2. Combo double. I've put in 3 extras in this 150, and yeah, they've all come in a little bit. Really, they were all a little bit bigger than that, but and you might get, well, you will get better prices in other bookmakers than what I'm getting on Sky. So for Sky, getting the 7th place, but you'll get better prices elsewhere. So 150 York, Mackinac looking for Linda that are in the multiple bets, and then I've added in Ventura Express, Mondamege, and Alligator Alley. Going on to the 410, so that's of the York races, that's the one that's just edged it slightly for value. 5 on Sky, 4 most other places, but we're going Solent Gateway in the max we can. So it's 10 times 20p each way doubles. £4 is the bet. Sky best, 365 second best, then Hills, Betfair and Betway. That is bet 3. That concludes our York session, and then I've got my Bath Sligo. So it's quite a good valuable one, this one. 355 Bath, or Bath, however you want to go. Split leg, Cherry Cola and Stiletto. 14's the pair on that, although 18's is what you can get on 365 for Stiletto. Most bookies paying 4. The 430 Bath, Havana Gold Rush 14's. Sky, the only one's 4 on that one. 365, 18 to 1 standout price though. 540 Sligo, Future Proof 28. I think that's the only horse that is Sky slightly better price than everybody else. It's 4 places, same as everyone else, but 28 to 1, slightly better with Sky. And then the 640 Sligo, Moy Villa Lass 16 to 1, 4 places most bookmakers. So Sky are best, but that's only because you've got a 4th place on that race. And then 365 Coral or Ladbrokes, you will get 4, 4 and 4. Again, there's one of these races, I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head now. Paddy aren't 4 on, so yeah, again, Paddy's not good for my bets for Wednesday. So that's 2 times 10p each way lucky 15s. One's got Cherry Cola and those 3, and one's got Stiletto and those 3. So 2 separate 10p each way lucky 15s. So it's 2 lots of £3 bet, basically £6 is your total. Bet 5, second combo bet with my outside of York best 2 races. 355 Bath, Cherry Cola and Stiletto. I like those horses in that race, both 14s. And then the 822 Kempton. I really like that race for a value perspective, and there's quite a lot in there that doesn't look right. I really think the market's not got that race quite right at all. So I'm expecting a bit of price movement in there, but got Super down at 28s. Million Thanks at 17 to 2, which you'll see appear in the Kempton bet, and I've added in Ernie's Valentine at 14s. Most bookies are 4 on most of these, on both these races, not Paddy. So 365 Coral or Ladbrokes, but we'll get best price guaranteed on these multiples if you put the bet on Wednesday morning. Most bookies are 4, as I said, outside of Paddy. So have a little shop around, but if you can get best price guaranteed, I think that would be helpful just to be on the safe side. Although I would be surprised if any of these get much bigger than that. £3 is your bet, it's bet 5. And then finishing off, as documented, we have a good record at Kempton. It's not the best evening at Kempton, but I have put together a Kempton bet. So 722, that is a really good bad each way race. You've got favourites 2 to 7 in most places. Bet 365 2 to 9. I'll come back to that because that's significant. We're going to go with quality. In essence, what you've got there is stupidly small odds on favourite because it's the right favourite. Second favourite's clear second favourite. So if you want to do a safer version of this bet, the second favourite in that 722 is about 5 to 2 second favourite. That is a really solid horse for a filler in a Yankee or a Lucky 15 because the value, it might not seem it, but a 5-2 shot second favourite when it's clear second favourite, and there's, you know, on all known form, the first two in the betting should be the first two home. So that horse, as long as it's nothing's wrong with it, the horse at second favourite, it should finish top three, because everything else pretty much has proven to be a donkey. So the second favourite is a really solid bet, and I've gone for the risky one because that's what I'm about, isn't it? It's about the value. So I've gone with quality. Horse has previously run over jumps. First run on the flat. Breeding wise, it's much more a flat horse. It's out of Master Craftsman. It's produced some cracking middle distance horses. On balance, the fact that one's not run on the flat but it's done a couple of jumps races and it's been okay compared to some of the donkey form that the others have shown, I think that one's the right play. So 722 quality, 755 Epsom Faithful at 10s, 822 the bet I've got in the combo double, split it, super down at 28, million thanks at 17-2, and then the 852 is a bit short. It is a bit short, so it's I wouldn't want that any shorter than that, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does go a bit bigger. Angel of Antrim at 6s, but I wanted to make the bet up into a 4-leg race, and so I've put that in there. And the other reason I can put that in there is flag as well. I've flagged this as 365 Coral or Paddy, because those races are both 3 places with every bookmaker, and those 2 races are 4 places with almost every bookmaker. So 365 Coral and Paddy, you'll get best price guaranteed. Ladbrokes, not good on one of them. I can't. It's that one, I think. Ladbrokes are only free. So 365 Coral or Paddy. The big shout out flag on this bet is that if you put this on at the time of making the vid and uploading it, 365 hugely stand out, and I mean hugely. 66-1 on that one. 16-1 on that one. It's double the price. What you're adding 60% of the price. They're 33s and 12s, so they're better on both of those. And the biggie down here, 16-1 on that horse, when almost every other bookmaker is 6-1. So 365 at the time making this video, 100% that's where you want this bet to go down, because the value of the bet is basically overall way more than double what I'm going to get for the channel if you got the prices on 365. So 365 at the time of making this video, 100% that's where you want to put this bet on with. If you've got choice of bookmakers, don't be putting it on with Sky Bet. Like, get the prices on 365, because that's cracking. Yeah, 16s, 12s, 33s, 16s, 66s, all 5 horses better, and some by a considerable amount, but 16s on a 6-1 shot on 365, that's great. And I also think the 66s on there is particularly good, because I can't see that one being bigger than 33s at the SP off. So that's the plan. As a reminder, I'll be back tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and I'll be basically doing Thursday's stuff, and I'll include a Friday York bet, because I won't be doing a video Thursday night or Friday morning. So Wednesday night, so tomorrow night's video will be a bumper video, because it'll have all Thursday stuff on it, plus it will have Friday's York bet included as well. So I don't know if Thursday happens to be a super cracking day, it therefore might mean that the video, there's an outside chance it might go more than £40 double stake, but that's because it's got 2 days racing on it. So that's that. Reminder, the golf in the comments within about 30 minutes of uploading this, for those that want it. And I think that's about it. I know there's probably more questions I haven't got back to. But yeah, it's great that people ask the questions, and the channel's just got to a size where it's just hard to get back to every question. And those of you who've been around a long time know when people ask very good sort of thoughtful questions, I like to give sort of long thoughtful answers, and so therefore I feel sometimes it's a bit of a delay in response, because I want to make sure I get a good answer out for people. Anything else I'm going to say? Quick reminder, as on the 500th video when I was off, I did announce we've got the first channel meetup. Looks like there's a couple of people interested. I might not be on my own, who knows. Maybe I'll make friends with a stray dog. But Kempton on the 22nd, so 1 month from, well, I'm making this video on the 22nd, it'll upload probably on the 23rd, but 22nd of September at Kempton. That is the first official channel meetup. I'll be there with the flat cap, enjoying the racing. If you want to come along, I think usually it's about 10, 13 quid or something to get in on a night like that at Kempton on the all-weather. Normally a fun day out, and yeah, it's the anniversary of the channel's biggest win. So that is the first official channel meetup. I know there's lots of folk watching who are from the north of England or from Scotland or from Ireland and other parts of the world. But my intention is if kind of the first meetup goes successfully and you know I don't get 5 stalkers from it, then genuine actual fear. Sometimes you've got to put yourself out there though. Then the next one will either be in the north of England or possibly in Ireland. That would be where I'd aim to do the next ones, just so that we can kind of rotate it around. And then yeah, it just might not be a thing. 1, 2 people might turn up. We might have fun. That's it. But yeah, I'll kind of coincide it. The plan as well. My aim with these as well, if I'm going to do more, is not to go to big high-end meetings where they're really, really busy and they're expensive to get in. So kind of want to make it accessible for people. So, you know, if I'm going to the north of England, I'm not going to go, not going to the York Ebor Festival, for instance. I shall try and find an alternative meeting that we can go to. And then likewise in Ireland, I've never been to Dundalk and I'd love to go. So if I went over to Ireland, I think probably my first port of call might be to try and go to Dundalk. We will see. You know, on a Friday night Dundalk, that might be quite good. We'll see. All right, that's that. Anything else? Channel me. I think that's it. Oh yeah, and I'll update more details on Saturday. But yeah, I'm gonna give the this fantasy tipping channel. I need to come up with some sort of fancy name, really, like the Flat Cappers Tipster League or something, you know, something like that. But yeah, I am going to give that a go on Saturday, see how we go. Got a very kind offer from somebody who sent me basically some spreadsheets and stuff they've used before for something, which is really helpful. Thank you very much. And yeah, I think I'll give it a go. I'll see how I get on doing the scoring myself, and if it's way too much, then I'll say it's way too much, and if someone wants to take it off my hands and do it, great. If I think it's manageable, because the thing with these things often is setting it up to start with takes a long time, and then actually maintaining it can be a little bit easier. So yeah, I'll get all the right rules and regulations out of what I'm going to do, but bear in mind the point is for fun. There's no prize. It is just about, you know, to be able to say that you're top of the tipster league, and we can have an ongoing league table. Just think it might be a bit of a fun thing to do. But yeah, I've got no interest in doing actual competitions for prizes and making it all complicated like that. So I'm not in it for that. I just thought there's plenty of people that like putting their tips in, and actually let's have a little fun game on the side, and we can have a little league table, and maybe point is I don't need to publish the whole thing. So if you're like bottom of the table, I don't need to name and shame. We can, you know, just put the top 10 or top 5 at any one point. Anywho, that's me. I'll leave it there. I'll get this video uploaded before midnight, hopefully. All right. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow night. Bye bye.